Hello everyone and welcome to season 2 of WolfQuest. And wow, it has been quite a lengthy period of voting. We've been voting for just over a week now. We ran one poll over the previous weekend and we ran one poll from last Monday until today. And wow, it has been quite the ride. The polls were changing constantly. Different wolves were in the lead. Sometimes every time I looked at the polls, somebody new had taken the lead. But after a whole week of voting, we had 15 votes in total. And finally, a winner has emerged as the wolf that we will be following as our heir. So let's go ahead and begin our quest. And we are going to be playing on challenging, because this wolf does not get any special buffs as far as being able to change the difficulty. And we are going to go ahead and meet our heir. Let's see. And here we are. So the heir that was chosen was actually Kaia, and we're going to go ahead. She had 6 votes as compared to, and it was kind of a surprise ending because for the longest time, Flair was in the lead. I'll just circle around a little bit so you guys can get a good look at her. But she had pretty close competition with her brother Flair. Now, Kaia is from the 2nd litter. Flair was from the 4th litter. And Kaia is a very shy, very skittish wolf who doesn't really like other wolves all that much. But she is also very, very afraid of the stranger wolves that are in the Slough Creek area, and we'll go ahead and have her do a little bit of hunting. She'll probably earn most of her experience points from hunting. I'll go ahead and tell you that now, because she really doesn't like other wolves, and that's actually why she has a bent ear and that scar on her face, is because when she was a puppy, she was attacked by another wolf that almost killed her. But her sister Ashy was able to run in and nip the stranger wolf on the nose, which startled it just long enough for Katari to be able to run in and rescue Kaia. And oh my goodness, she is not all that strong. Oh my goodness, she does not have much strength, so it'll probably be important for her to find a mate fairly quickly. I'll show you her stat balance in just a minute, but I just want to say, do not fear. If the wolf you voted for was not chosen as heir, it is probable... Oh, here comes a coyote. But it is probable that all of the wolves in the 2nd poll, and probably even some of the ones that were eliminated after the 1st poll, will be able to still have side stories. And I can say for a fact that Flair will have a side story. I have something special in mind for him, so you will be seeing more of him even though he isn't the heir. Kyrian will also most likely get a side story, and depending on how many side stories we do, Apollo and Neo may also have their own side stories. But the official heir to the series, the heir to Tarrell and Katari and their pack, is Kaia. Now, Kaia looks a lot like her dad. You can see she has a much grayer coat than her mother. I'll go around again a little bit just so you can see. But you can also see she does have some of the brown in there from Katari. And she is very shy, so she'll probably avoid other wolves. Her challenge does not come into play until she goes to raise puppies. But when she does go to raise puppies, she must always remain... Oop, there's a bunny. She must always remain at the Aspen Heights den. We're going to try and get as much small prey as we can too, because even this little bunny carcass will be a big help, because I have a feeling Kaia will struggle with hunting. And let me show you her stat balance. We'll go to pack stats. And she actually has very high speed. She's very fast. She has 85% speed, 40% stamina, and 25% strength. So she's a fairly weak wolf, but she is extremely fast, and I'm sure you can see that already. Look at how she just zips around. So she is also quite a small wolf. Because she tends to be a lot faster than stronger, she is very small. But because she's so weak, she's had to learn to use cunning to survive. So although her challenge is that she fears the stranger wolves, and so she must stay at the Aspen Heights den, which is furthest away from them, she also... Her special ability is that she actually has learned quite a bit. She's had to rely a lot on cunning to be able to survive. And so she has quite a powerful ability, which is that if a pup dies on the journey to the summer hunting grounds, it doesn't matter how, but as long as it's during the journey. Now, if a pup dies on the missions prior to that, she can't save them. But if the pup dies on the journey, her knowledge of the wild enables her to be able to save them. And why is that hair carcass still in front of us? Little glitch. But even though she is very shy, she's still going to go ahead and visit all 3 wolf territories that we have here in Amethyst Mountain, because she's never been in this area before. So she needs to run around and kind of figure out who's who and where they live. And so she will be going to at least visit the wolf territories. She probably won't stick around. And she probably will be kind of like Shasta, who avoids territories where the wolves are very aggressive. Quite potentially like this territory. I know the Druid pack tends to be very, very aggressive, but she may also look for the wolves that tend to be a little bit more submissive, and such as the one that that Shasta kept bumping into in his side story up in the... Something just found her hair carcass and has eaten it. Well, there goes that idea. At least we got a little experience from it. But she may be kind of like, oop, looks like we hit the edge of the map. We're going to go down a little ways and continue to look for those scent trails. I'm trying to keep an eye on the direction of the wind. Or is this all the way down? This is all the way down. So if we run along here, we should be able to find the scent trail because the wind is blowing to the side of us. But, oh, here we go. But she'll probably end up being a lot like Shasta in looking for... Oh, there is a druid female. Okay, there she is. Oh my gosh. You guys, you can't see it too well, but that's the wolf that attacked Kaia. That is actually the wolf that attacked Kaia. It has the white fur and the brown head, and I don't think Kaia wants any of that nonsense. She's out of here. No way is she going back to that territory. That's the wolf that attacked her as a pup. And no way is she going to stand up to that wolf. She's out of there. So no way is she looking for a mate in this territory. She's going to run as fast and as far away from here as she can possibly get. I think she would just bolt straight off up the mountain. That was unforeseen. I don't even think she'd stop for food, even though she's getting a little bit hungry. She wants to get as far away from that wolf as possible. That is the wolf that attacked her. Oh my goodness. Well, this story took an unexpected turn. Yeah, I don't think Kaia would even show her face in that territory. Normally, she tends to be submissive, but I don't know if she'd flee that quickly unless she was aggressively attacked. But when that's the wolf that came after her as a puppy, there's no way that she's going to stand around for any longer than she has to. I think she just caught wind of the wolf, maybe didn't even see her that much, and just bolted. Oh my gosh. Well, that was unexpected. Already Kaia's story has taken some turns, so I think she would maybe finally start to slow down, especially since her stamina is running out. Now she's quite far. She ran about halfway across the mountain from that wolf pack. I think she'd probably feel like she's far enough out of their territory to be safe. But she is going to go investigate the other wolf territories and just find out who lives there. But when it comes to looking for a mate, she's definitely not going back to the Druid pack. Definitely not. She may still go to the Amethyst Mountain pack, though, or the Grassy Plains pack. It all depends on the wolves she encounters there. And if she encounters aggressive wolves in both territories, we'll have to see how that affects her. Now, she is the heir, so at some point we have to move on with her story, but she is also an extremely cautious wolf. So if she's met with aggressive wolves, she may have to... We'll have to talk about it and see. She might have to figure out some other way or some reason to go back into the territory where she might encounter a mate. I unfortunately don't see any carcasses, which is not a good thing because she is losing her health. She's getting a little bit hungry, but she's probably not going to be standing and fighting much anyway. Is there an elk herd nearby? Do we... It's... Oh my gosh, you know what it is? There's a moose. I bet it's a moose. If we go to pack stats... Yeah, moose hunts 1. There's a moose somewhere around here. Okay. We're going to take a little break. There's no way Kaia is going to hunt a moose. No way in heaven or earth. She is not at all strong enough. and definitely not bold enough. But I think she'd at least investigate, and I don't even know if we saw... I think the moose may be gone. No, I still hear the music. I gotta figure out where this moose is. It may despawn. I don't see it. Is it up this way? That could be a way she might end up going into a territory if she gets, if she ends up getting chased off repeatedly. I think she might be interested by a strange scent or something and unwittingly follow it into the territory or something. I can't find where this moose is. We're actually in wolf territory. I'm looking for the scent trail to see if we could find it. Because I think Kaia is a little bit curious. She is very, very shy. But she's also a little bit curious. And so if she suddenly encountered a strange scent or realized that there was an unfamiliar animal nearby, she might go check it out, even if she is a little bit, more than a little bit skittish and tends to want to be by herself. I think she still will go check it out, but I think the moose has left. And the moose actually kind of trying to investigate the same strange sound and scent on the wind. She's actually stumbled right into another pack's territory. And as she's kind of running around looking to see, kind of trying to figure out what's going on, she might actually run into another wolf. I heard music this way. Oh, I see another wolf. I think she would immediately start submitting. She's gonna see if it's gonna be a nice wolf or if it's gonna be aggressive towards her. Oh, okay, she's leaving. She's definitely leaving. There is no way she's gonna stand around, especially, look how much health he took off. That is a strong, healthy wolf, and she wants nothing to do with him. Well, that's also a little bit unfortunate because she did not bump into the very submissive male that Shasta was able to find up here. Unfortunately, it seems like she may have run into one of the pack leaders. Usually the pack leaders are the parents and the other wolves are their puppies. So it seems like she may have run into one of the parents who was like, no, none of this nonsense, get out. So unfortunately, Kaia did not find any acceptance from that pack. I think she'd head back this way. There are also some carcasses that she knows about over there because she actually... Whoa, what's this? There's a fox. I think that might catch Kaia's interest because here is a very small canine that... Or actually not a canine wolf. Or foxes are vulpines, but pretty kind of similar. Still a similar creature. I think they, at some point, trace... I think they're related, but not closely related, kind of. I think she'd kind of follow it, just curiously, and see where it's going, see what it's up to. I don't think she really wants to hunt it. Kaia tends to be a very sweet-natured wolf who probably doesn't like killing things unless she has to. Now, again, that's personification. In the wild, wolves don't really have a like or a dislike for hunting. But I feel like, as far as for the sake of the story, some of our wolves are much more aggressive. I think Kaia does kind of have more of a natural, kind of an instinctual hatred for coyotes, because eventually they will start to come after her puppies. But this is a creature she really hasn't seen too much of, and it may have actually led her to food. It's actually leading her straight to a carcass. I think she would kind of follow it. But she's not nearly as much of an aggressive wolf as even, say, Shasta was. Now, the fox ran off, but it actually just led her right to a carcass. And that is exactly what she needed. So that's kind of an interesting turn. And you can see the fox has actually gone off that way. I think she'd be kind of curious, and I think, honestly, out of all the wolves we have, Kaia is probably among the least likely to try and hunt down and kill a fox. She's also possibly one of the few who could actually do it because she's so fast, and the foxes are so fast. But, yeah, that's kind of an interesting thing. She might actually, in the future, tend to have more of a proneness to being able to follow the foxes. Maybe that's how she'd get into a territory. If she stumbled on a fox and it led her right into a territory, perhaps that would be a way she could get into it. But she's on her way to check out the third wolf pack territory. She's hoping to find one that would at least tolerate her presence some of the time. And so she doesn't really want to go back to the one she was just in, the Amethyst Mountain territory. She's going to check out the Plains one, but even if she was at some point able to find a wolf that was less aggressive in the Druid pack, I don't even think she'd risk it. I think the second she would enter that territory, she would turn right away because she now knows that's where the wolf that attacked her as a puppy lives. And so I think she's going to stick exclusively to these two territories. But if she gets chased off here too, she might have to stumble into one of them. I think also Kaia isn't all that assertive, but if she had a wolf that was very submissive right from the start, she might end up almost inadvertently chasing it away. She's not really the sort to intentionally, I'm going to let her slow down and kind of catch her breath a little. Her stamina's running out. She does not have very good stamina, which could be a problem when it comes to carrying puppies. But as far as she is not, it would almost be more of an accidental sort of thing where the other wolf would run away and she'd be like, no, wait, I didn't mean to chase you off. She, I think, is a very kind-hearted wolf. And again, that's adding some amount of personification and humanization to the wolves. But for the sake of the story, we do that on occasion. We want to be careful with how far we go. But, so that, I think, will be maybe an additional challenge that Kaia faces, too, on Amethyst Mountain, is that if she ends up stumbling into, oh, here's some scent trails, if she even stumbles into Druid Pack territory, which is the one that is on by the Soda Butte Vista, she will immediately turn around, no matter what she's doing. If she's hunting an elk, chasing a coyote, she's going to immediately turn around. And who is this? This is a slough male that looks an awful lot like her mother, which is kind of interesting. I wonder if Katari, I mean, she was from the Plains, but I wonder if this wolf has some relation to her. She would immediately end up being pretty submissive, I think. He's not aggressive. She might wait and try and stand her ground a little bit. Oh, I don't think she would stand up. I think she'd try to submit again, but she's kind of pleading for an ability to stay in territory, an ability to kind of wander around. No, she's going to get chased again. So I think out of all three territories, she's most likely to come back to this one because the wolf in the Amethyst Mountain territory immediately attacked her. Like, he watched her for a little bit, but when he wanted her to go, he just attacked. But this wolf actually kind of gave her a warning without attacking. So I think even though she is pretty scared, she might not be as afraid to come back to this territory. And I think if she's... Oh my gosh. I think if she's going to... Oh dear. Is she going to come into confrontation with a bear over this carcass? She's very timid, but at the same time, she's very cunning. I think she would try and chase the bear by coming in behind him like she's seen... Oh! And she did it! She saw her parents do that sometimes when they were raising her, and I think she's probably learned that tactic just from being out in the wild, but she was actually just able to chase off a grizzly. Only to have a cougar come in instead. I think, though, that maybe gave her a little confidence when it came to dealing with predators. We'll have to see if that confidence... Are you serious? Oh my goodness, Kaia! Are you serious? Well, it looks like we might be seeing a little bit of a more spunky side of Kaia that we're really not used to. She's very shy among her own kind, But it seems as if she has a way with predators and being able to chase them off. So we're going to leave that here. Let's just see how much experience she's earned. She's actually earned 535 experience already. That's not too bad for a wolf who hasn't won a single encounter. She's been chased off all 3 times. She's actually not doing half bad. So next time we'll have to see if she is able to find a mate. I think she'll be heading back to the grassy plain pack over here and kind of snooping around, because she does know that the wolf she encountered there tended to be a little bit gentler than the wolf she met in Amethyst Mountain, and she's not even going to dare get near the Druid pack on the Soda Butte Vista. There is no way whatsoever. But we're going to leave off here for now. So I will see you guys next time. But until then, this is Jay, over and out. See you guys later.